Amy Duggar just did something that's splitting the internet right down the middle. She sat down with a podcast host and revealed she had a private conversation with her cousin Joseph Duggar's alleged victim, the same girl who says she was assaulted at just 9 years old. Amy praised her bravery, told her she was strong, and said she hoped the girl could finally sleep at night. But then she said something else. Something about the girl needing to clear her conscience. And that one phrase has fans furious, asking why anyone would tell an innocent child she has anything to clear at all. Stick around because we're breaking down exactly what Amy said, why it's causing such a stir, and what it means for the Duggar family's already crumbling public image. If you've followed reality TV for any length of time, you know the Duggar name. The family shot to fame on TLC with 19 Kids and Counting, a show that followed Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar as they raised 19 children under strict conservative and religious values. For years, they were seen as America's wholesome megafamily. That image shattered in 2015 when it came out that their oldest son, Josh Duggar, had fondled 5 girls when he was a teenager, including some of his own sisters. The show was canceled. The family kept trying to rebuild their reputation. Then, in 2021, Josh was arrested again, this time on federal charges related to child sexual abuse material. He's now serving a 12-year prison sentence. Just when many fans thought the family scandals couldn't get worse, another Duggar brother found himself facing very similar accusations. That brother is Joseph Duggar, known to fans as Joe, and his case is what's brought Amy Duggar back into the spotlight this month. Let's get into the timeline, because this story has moved fast. Back in March of 2026, Joseph Duggar was arrested. According to reports, he was accused of molesting a girl who was only 9 years old at the time, with the alleged incident happening during a family vacation in Florida. His wife, Kendra, was also arrested in connection with the case. This news hit the Duggar family fanbase hard, especially since it came just a few years after Josh's own conviction. For a lot of longtime followers, this felt like history repeating itself. Joseph pleaded not guilty to charges that include lewd and lascivious molestation of a victim under 12. But here's where it gets complicated. According to an affidavit obtained by Us Weekly, Joseph allegedly admitted to touching the victim over her clothing during a recorded call with the girl's father. Despite that alleged admission, he still entered a not guilty plea in court. He was later released from custody after posting a $600,000 bond, with strict conditions that bar him from contacting the alleged victim or even his own children. Now, fast forward to this month, July 2026. Amy Duggar, who fans will remember from her own appearances on the original show, sat down for an interview on the Sarah Fraser Show podcast. Amy has never been shy about sharing her opinions on her extended family, and this interview was no exception. She revealed that she personally reached out to the family of Joseph's alleged victim and ended up speaking directly with the teenage girl herself. Now 14 years old, this young woman has been vocal about what she says happened to her, and many have praised her courage for speaking out despite intense public scrutiny. Amy explained that she wanted to offer the girl comfort. In her own words, she said she told the girl that speaking out so honestly and vulnerably, knowing there would be backlash and people who wouldn't believe her, showed just how strong she really is. She went on to say she hoped the girl could sleep at night and eventually find healing. On the surface, that sounds like exactly the kind of support a survivor might need to hear. But then Amy added something that immediately caught listeners off guard. She said she told the girl about counseling and how important it is to talk things out loud and clear her conscience. She quickly followed that up by saying it's not on her, and explained that she believes the girl has likely been shamed by people connected to the family's religious community into thinking the abuse was somehow her fault. This is where public reaction exploded. The phrase, clear her conscience, struck a nerve with a lot of listeners because it implies the victim has something to feel guilty about, even though Amy herself seemed to be trying to say the opposite. Critics argue that language like that, even when well-intentioned, can send a confusing message to a young abuse survivor. Amy also mentioned that she doesn't believe the alleged victim is part of the Institute of Basic Life Principles, the strict religious organization the Duggar family has long been associated with, but she does believe the girl has friendships tied to that belief system, which may have influenced how she views what happened to her. Amy didn't stop there either. In the same interview, she was asked why she thinks Joseph pleaded not guilty despite the alleged admission mentioned in the affidavit. Amy responded by saying she believes Joseph has gotten bad legal counsel, calling it unhealthy and untruthful. That's a pretty striking accusation aimed at the legal advice her own cousin is receiving, and it shows just how far Amy is willing to go in publicly distancing herself from this side of the family's decisions. She also addressed the family as a whole, saying she believes Joseph and Kendra's relatives, including Jill and Derek Dillard, are doing their best to find peace and are focused on getting the alleged victim the healing she needs. Jill and Derek, who have been openly critical of the Duggar family patriarch Jim Bob in the past, released a statement back in March saying they were shocked and heartbroken to learn of Joseph's arrest and that they strongly condemn abuse. So how has the internet responded to all of this? Reaction has been mixed, and honestly, pretty heated. A lot of fans appreciate that Amy is willing to speak out when other family members stay silent. They see her as someone trying to support a victim in a family system that has historically protected abusers over survivors. But a significant number of critics feel differently. Some argue that Amy inserting herself into this situation and then sharing details of a private conversation with a minor on a public podcast isn't actually helpful. Some commenters online felt it looked like Amy was exploiting the girl's story for attention. Others simply feel Amy talks too much about family business that isn't hers to share, regardless of her intentions. Meanwhile, plenty of fans are simply relieved someone in this family is acknowledging the abuse happened and standing behind the victim publicly, something Josh Duggar's own family didn't do for years. So what happens now? Joseph Duggar's criminal case is still working its way through the Florida court system. Back in June, a judge denied a motion filed by his legal team, though the specifics of what comes next in his trial haven't been finalized publicly. He remains out on bond under strict no-contact conditions. As for Amy, given how outspoken she's been throughout this entire situation, it's likely she'll continue addressing it in future interviews. Fans should also keep an eye on whether Jill and Derek Dillard make any further public statements, since they've been among the most vocal Duggar family members when it comes to holding their relatives accountable. At the end of the day, this story is about far more than just one interview. It's a reminder of how complicated things get when a massive, tightly connected family faces a second devastating abuse scandal in less than a decade. Amy Duggar clearly meant to offer comfort and support to a brave young survivor, and much of what she said reflected real compassion. But her choice of words around clearing a conscience has sparked an important conversation about how we talk to survivors of abuse and whether even well-meaning comments can unintentionally place blame where it doesn't belong. Meanwhile, Joseph Duggar's case continues to move through the legal system, and the Duggar family's reputation continues to take hit after hit. What are your thoughts on this latest Duggar family update? Share your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Duggar family update.